the intake specialist service, what it is, how it works, how you get it in your gym. The main thing I want you to remember about intake is their goal is to get more trials in your gym, more people in your gyms, more opportunity to sell. So, how does this work? So, intake specialists work for corporate and they manage multiple gyms at a time, and they basically work as a second account manager. So their whole goal is that lead management, contacting leads through phone calls, emails, texts to get them scheduled for their free first workout. That's their entire job. And so they do this in, conjunction with your account or gym manager. But when you have two people working this job, we see a huge increase in the number of leads who get scheduled and also the lead experience as far as customer service, which we'll talk about more. But so 84% increase, that's huge. And with our top performing intakes, we've seen as high as an 80% show rate. For example, our high performing intake right now, she scheduled 64 trials 64 trials showed up. She scheduled more than that, but 64 trials showed up in August for our Orem gym. So just an incredible amount of show rate there. And that's 64 more opportunities for a new member that Orem wouldn't have had on their own. So that's the huge benefit of an intake. They also offer this great customer service. So most account managers work the afternoon shift, so 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. But what about the rest of the day? Morning, afternoon, who's managing your leads and taking phone calls and checking Facebook messages? If you don't have a lead intake specialist, those hours go untouched, and then lead experience is not as good. So that's another benefit of having a lead intake specialist is basically you'll have 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. covered for your gym. If you're using intake for a gym that's not open yet, so during pre-sales, we also see a huge increase in pre-sales. So our Founders Club membership, if you have, again, two people working that, so you're either account or gym manager and an intake specialist, the pre-sales just go through the roof because you're getting such a huge volume of leads, 200 or more. It's just impossible for one person to manage that effectively and efficiently. So having the intake just makes it so much better. And then you open your gym with a huge number of members already. Our last gym that did this had the intake and their general manager, their gym manager, and record-breaking pre-sales. Really cool. So how does it work? Support hours, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. That is our intakes shift. And we've tried to make this as simple and affordable for gyms as possible. It's much more affordable than adding another employee to your payroll. And so that's why we have this pricing set up the way we do. So you don't have to hire someone else, but you still have another person working your leads. So pre-open gyms, $500 a month, $10 per trial who actually shows up once you are open, or $5 per every Founders Club membership that the intake sells. Post-opening, if you're a regular open gym, it's $400 a month and $10 per trial who shows up for their free first workout. Let's just run through really quickly some intake best practices. If you decide to use intake or are using intake, we'll go into these things in more detail. And so the first one is the intake and the account or gym manager are a team. They must work together for this to be as efficient and smooth as possible. And so the account manager especially needs to realize that this intake is a part of the team in the gym. Even though they're remote and separate, they need to work together as closely as possible, which includes daily communication. So our intake specialist will send a daily report email at the end of their shifts just to let account managers and owners know, hey, I contacted this many people, set this many trials, and then ask questions like, did this trial show up? It wasn't recorded correctly in Club Ready. Or, hey, this person called about needing to freeze. Would you please contact them? So that daily communication is really important. Account managers and gym managers need to read that email at the beginning of their shift and then respond to it at the end of their shift with anything coming back, how trials went that evening, and any tasks that needed to be done, updates on those, stuff like that. Keep in mind that Intake's full job is trials, is free first workouts. They are not responsible for membership sales or membership retention in any way. So the easiest way to think of it is they will work with a lead until that lead shows up in your gym. Once that person is there and has done a free first workout, that is then the responsibility of your in-gym team. So the account manager, gym manager, head coach, they will take over with the sell and any member retention like freezes, cancels, account management, that stuff, all on your in-gym team. It's best if the intake and the account managers own their own leads. Of course, the lead experience is the most important, but we find it works best to assign leads separately, and then each person works that lead from beginning to end. We do a time-based lead assignment, so as leads come in, whoever is on shift is going to take that lead, assign it to themselves in Club Ready, and work it. Now, of course, there's going to be crossover here, and the leads experience is our priority. So let's say one of our intakes was texting back and forth with someone most of the day, trying to get them scheduled for their free workout, and the response doesn't come in until after their shift, and an account manager sees that text, responds, and books that person. That lead is still that intake's lead. So that account manager would need to let the intake know so that they can adjust that and have their records correct. And we also pay these intakes commission, so we need to make sure that we know how much commission to pay them, who they actually got into the gym. So again, that's just communication. They can also, intakes, work on your Facebook messages as they come in during the day. They won't post to social media or respond to comments, but because we have Facebook message attached to our website, those will come in throughout the day, and it's important to respond in a timely manner. So whatever gyms and intake is working on, they will also check the Facebook messages throughout the day and be able to respond to those as soon as possible. So that's kind of the overview of the intake specialist service. It's a really great, affordable, and very effective service that we offer through corporate. So whether you have it or don't have it, if you have any more questions, please let us know and we can help you get that running in your gym. Thanks.